way too far. Let me first explain to you how we even got into that situation. Our Gold Award expedition started in Munich. We were a group of 6 and we met our last member Elian in Scotland. We took a late and then delayed EasyJet flight to Edinburgh, where we stayed the night before moving towards the start of our trek. Alright, so that's Fabian, and we got Max and Henri up there. We're just heading off to find our outdoor store, and yeah, we're all pretty psyched. It's good weather.
We're not psyched at all.
After we'd bought our gas and mid-repellent, we boarded a train and bothered everyone with our gigantic red bags. A short train ride later, and we were in Pitlochry, where we restocked our food and met our assessor Matt. Good morning. We are just starting the expedition. It is a very beautiful morning. The countryside is wonderful, the weather is wonderful. The company is, for the large part, quite wonderful. We have a few races, and now we'll see how fast they tire out. But yeah, it's going very well. And we have already seen a hill, mountain, I don't know. It's called Munro, above 3,000 feet that we're heading for. And it looks alright. We'll see how much actual physical strength it'll require. But yeah, I'm looking quite forward to it.
I do not affiliate with Max and his gang signs.
We made very good progress over the course of day 1, hiking 22 kilometers and crossing Cairngorm. We then hiked over the sister twin, headed into the valley, and set up camp a bit further. We refilled our water and began cooking. We were very happy as everything had gone off without a hitch, with the exception of Max's blisters. All we had to do was prepare the route for tomorrow, settle into our tents, and wait for night to come. The next morning we woke up to the same glorious sunshine that we'd gone to bed with. We followed the valley north towards our goal, Ben Macdui, but started to realize that we were getting sunburns. This is a rather delayed video log 1, day 2.
Hey Luca.
Hi, we're already near checkpoint 1. We've been hiking for about
we're past checkpoint 1.
an hour and we're past checkpoint 1. We had to do a route plan change so that we can push into this valley, which I'll show you in just a second. The night went well. It is excellent weather. We all seem to have sunburns on our necks, apart from Henri. And I think we all slept quite well. The night was quite calm, no rain, no strange occurrences. We ate well breakfast and we ate well dinner. We're all quite happy. It's quite exhausting. We've all got, well, not most of us have blisters of some form. Max's are worse, but
Yeah, we have to show you that later. It's like a flesh wound.
yeah, it's not good. But we're trying to cover that. And yeah, it's very hot. No one expected this, I don't think, for Scotland this time of year. So this is the last video log of the second day of the practice expedition. We are now here, hang on in the background, at the foot of Ben Macdui, which is the mountain that we will be summiting tomorrow. It will be pretty challenging, 900 meters of elevation. I'm terrified, to be completely honest, because today was very, very long. Little to no paths, and we just went cross country. It was very strenuous, but tomorrow is going to be another long day. I'm not looking forward to it at all. Most of us have blisters. We have a nice camp, I'll show you. and we are, look, the midges have come out, so I'm being bitten. I'm a bit silly for standing here and vlogging, but there you go. But it's beautiful. It's very rewarding. The next morning, the climb began. It was steep and very grueling, and rather a race to get to the summit before the sun got too high. So this is the first video log of day 3, the practice. I couldn't take any images throughout the entire way up because it was so hard. And we're at the top of Ben Macdui. It was pretty hard. But we slept well. We slept in a kind of valley at the foot of Ben Macdui. We pushed further than we needed to. We planned so that we could have a shorter day today, and it helped, I think. It was kind of a marshy place. We had the chicken tikka last night. It was very good. I quite enjoyed that. After we'd enjoyed the view from the summit, we headed back down. At the third campsite, we considered the practice expedition over because the last day was going to be so short that it was negligible. As expected, the last day was very comfortable. We only hiked 16 kilometers, and as soon as we got to our youth hostel, we began restocking on calories. The next day, we drove past Loch Ness on our way to Fort William, restocked our supplies, and did the usual sightseeing. At this point, I'd like to say a huge thank you to our supervisor, Mr. Weinig, for accompanying us for the past 6 years and making this entire expedition possible. Right, back into the turmoil of the expedition. We took the train over the famous Glenfinnan aqueduct, arrived in Mallaig, and had a hearty meal before the onslaught began. The expedition began early with a one-way ticket to the most remote place in the United Kingdom. At this point we'd realized that the conditions were going to be very different to our practice expedition. The local flora went up over our shoulders and the weather changed faster than we could change the hoods of our jackets. Smile, yeah. At least our assessor Matt felt at home. While on top of the ridge system there were no more plants, we now feared being blown off by the strong winds. We had lunch in the only sheltered place we could find, and then we headed off across the ridge system again. The last part of the summit was an unexpected challenge, and I'd love to say that it was well worth the climb, but there was no view from the top. It was so windy that we made an immediate retreat and didn't even have much of a break on top. There is of course proof that we went to the summit. Due to the common hardship, our group worked very well together. We had an early dinner in the pouring rain, ran a few laps to get warm and then jumped into our sleeping bags. Day 2 started well with a warm breakfast, and we made many jokes about being in a Jurassic Park film. Great weather. and battened down the hatches for the storm during the night. We awoke the next morning not knowing that the next few hours would be the most physically trying thing we'd ever done. The visibility was so poor that navigation was sometimes limited to 10 meters. Our joy when we reached the summit was immeasurable, as you can tell by the smiles on our faces. In a mountaineering hut near Glenfinnan, called a bothy, we had our last meal on our gas stoves. We made rice and had Tabasco sauce.